Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be doing a double review and a versus review of the Rise of the Beasts Mainline Nightbird and the Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Nightbird. Both of them having their own advantages and disadvantages, which is why I thought, like, hey, these are the only two terror cons, is what they were called in the film, like, that are the main villains that I have, because I couldn't find Scourge, or nor could I find the Battle Trap. That's the name of the other guy I couldn't remember for half a second there. But yeah, so here, this one is the mainline one, this one is the Studio Series one. With the mainline one, as you can see, there's a bit more color breakup, because the Studio Series one is more accurate to the original car, which I don't know what it is. I thought it was like some Ford GT thing. I don't really know cars all that well, so yeah. And yeah, it's coming across on camera. As you can see, you can tell which parts are in clear plastic that have been painted, like the roof and the front of the car here. So yeah, that is a bit annoying. But here on this version, it's just all plastic with a gold chest cover thing, which I think this version of Nightbird was based more on concept art, because the Studio Series version of Nightbird has more accuracies compared to this one. But if you look down here, so yeah, you can see how they kind of transform, and a lot of the parts, weirdly enough, end up in the same place. Like, these are the arms, this is where the head is, obviously. This will become the front of the chest, and the legs are back here. But then again, that's the difference that this version has over this, where the accessories become the spoiler for the car, as you can see here. This car just has a spoiler with the sword stored underneath. That falls off easily, but with space for another sword. And considering she had two swords in the movie, I find it kind of weird that they didn't just give her two. Like, I don't know, it just feels weird. Oh yeah, let's do a quick little comparison. Here they are next to a Legacy Deluxe class. So, yeah. I gotta say, this one feels a lot lighter, while this one feels a lot more, not solid in any way, but like denser, kind of. I say so. And this also, I have a review of Legacy G1 Optimus Prime. I'll link to that and the playlist down in the description below. And also, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, all those little fun doodads. And now, let's continue. So, to start off with transformation, let's go in an order of which I received them, with the mainline one first. So, start off with, remove the accessories. Also, put that off to the side. And then you could just take these two parts off, and then connect them together, just like so. And then to put them and the sword off to the side. So yeah, so that is an option that you can do with this car, but you can kind of forcefully take it apart, like for the Studio Series version, so it's cool for options, I guess, but I'm just going to leave it on. So yeah, to start off with, take the side panels here, take them and untab them from here, and do the same thing on the other side, and make sure that they tab into place right here. Bring the arms out and around on the ball joints and hinges, and then bring all this up, and then fold this panel in. Make sure it feeds through the head, and then it can clip into place, well, after we untab the entirety of the back section here. Extend the legs, rotate them on hinges, and now move the side panels here off, rotate that around, rotate that down, and then boom, you got the toes. And here do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that this little tab here goes into the groove. You're pushing in the side pieces. So bring that all the way up and fold that down. And now you can bring that down. And there we have Mainline Nightbird in her robot mode. When we first got leaks of this, we all thought this was the Studio Series version, which, considering we have a Studio Series version, I severely doubt that. Also, a little detail I forgot to point out. There is a tiny little Terracon symbol right on her chest. Right there. And the same thing goes for this version here. Just molded in and painted in a nice metallic purple that is on the tires as well. Also, it's surprising that the front two tires are pinned on, while all the tires here are all clipped on, which, no shame if they're clipped on, but these ones tend to roll a lot better. But then again, all four wheels are pinned on, so it like makes the rolling a lot easier. And also, my camera is not in focus. There we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, so there she is in robot mode, and then let's get her accessories on her. So let's get this little arm blade thing here plugged on one of the ports, just like that. Then you can just put the sword in her hand, then boom. So let's get this one, let's get the Studio Series one transformed, and it should be a bit familiar. So yeah, to start off with, we are going to take the fronts and then get into the gaps, fold these back. There we go. And lift all this up. Extend this armature here up, and then tab it into place just like so. And then you can send these little, what are supposed to be wings, I think. Oh, we'll see it when we get to robot mode. Lift this up, and then we can bring the arms out, just like so. Bring these little shoulder pieces out. You're supposed to do that in the instructions from what I remember. And I don't know if you're meant to bring these chest pieces in before or after you bring down the chest. But let's just bring this all down. And then we bring the chest pieces forward. Then everything should just tab into place just like so. We can bring that all back, fold that down, and then bring all of this back, bring the legs forward as well at the same time, and rotate this all around. And these tabs here on the back of the windshield should tab into the tops here. So there we go. And there we have the backpack all handled. Though it does have a problem of becoming loose, but I will discuss that when we get to the robot mode, or the full robot mode. And then just untab them for the sides, bring the toes out, rotate these down, and then push them in. Do the same thing on the opposite side. So there we go. There we have Studio Series Nightbird done in her robot mode. And the camera is not autofocusing. I'm sorry about that. So, yeah. So, here is her Studio Series version, which ain't bad, but considering it has to be a licensed car former, I am not surprised about all the, backpack. Which, the mainline version, because it's technically not licensed, doesn't really have to worry about all that much. And this version is also taller than the Studio Series version. I don't know why, but it just is. So yeah, and also the sword, you can store it on the hip skirts here, And this, again, you can store it on either side, but if you had two, you could just store them on both sides. Which I really wonder why they didn't have this version of Nightbird include two swords, because she had two swords in the film. It's just weird. Sorry. So yeah. So you can take this all off. It is just on a mushroom peg, but I would be very careful because the mushroom peg it's on is connecting to a pinned clear piece, and if that breaks, then you're not really transforming this again. So yeah. So honestly, they both don't look bad, but I do like the mainline version a bit more, but it is also kind of based off of more of a, well, I say her G1 version, but even then her G1 version majorly departs from all this. So yeah, so let's just get the Studio Series one out of the way, and then we'll focus on the mainline one first with articulation and such. So yeah, so she does include her arm claw thing that not even the, well, you can kind of see them referenced right here in the molding of the arm, but they are not their own accessory, unlike this mainline version here. And also you can take the sword here and then just plug it in underneath for storage right here on the back, which is kind of nice. So for her head, she has a ball joint at the head, can go side to side, and you can get some upwards movement, but it does collide with the back panel here. Arms are on a ball joint, so you can get a full rotation and can go out that far and even more upwards thanks to the transformation. There is a bicep rotation, 90 degrees of bend at the elbow and nothing at the wrists, unfortunately. There is a waist rotation, though it is pretty limited if you can't get the backpack stuff out of the way. Come on. There we go. Just getting it all the way back around. Legs can go forward that far. Legs can go back that far. Legs can go outwards that far. And then also you can move these out of the way, so if you need to have them not be in the way of movement. I just felt that like really nice. So full rotation here at the leg. You can get a double joint out of this. Again, this is where moving this piece of kibble out of the way helps. So you can get like a full knee bend, but you're not really getting that much forward, if that makes any sense. So an ankle, then there's ankle pivot, which can go all the way in thanks to transformation. So yeah, honestly, a great desk toy, from what I figure. If you're going for accuracy, go for the Studio Series one. But if you want a fun little desk toy of Nightbird in a more realistic styling, then I say go for this one. And my camera keeps not wanting to focus. I don't know why this keeps happening. Sorry about that. So let's get this out of the way. So now let's move on to the Studio Series version, which again is shorter and more compact compared to the compared to the mainline version. It also has the addition of these little, what are affectionately called like wings, or was essentially because Nightbird in the film could fly. And I don't know if these were added last minute or something, but this is kind of pathetic. Like, it's so tiny. Like, there are upgrade kits to fix this that I think can fit in her vehicle mode. I think there was a DNA kit that could do that, but I don't have that, obviously, and that kit was for the entirety of the, for both Battle Trap and Scourge, and well, I don't have those parts because I don't have those figures. So yeah, let's get on to articulation. So for the head is on a ball joint. You can get a full 360 out of it, but you can look up that far and can look down that far. And also, the little difference between this one and the, like, this version of Nightbird and the mainline one is that, for one, entire clear dome here, which is kind of cool looking, but also for some reason on camera her eyes are coming off as red, but if I can get the lighting, yeah, no, you can't really see it, but yeah, like in person they're more of an orangey color, which is kind of cool. But also the headdress is like very large, like with, like, it's just so weird looking. Like the mainline one is more of a Ninja Datsun mold. This is odd, to say the least. So yeah, so head is on a ball joint. There is waist rotation, but you're not going to get much because of the backpack, which, while you can move it out of the way, you can move it up to get some more. The hips, unfortunately, bump into this little piece here. So yeah, and speaking of which, legs can go back that far, can go forward, if they don't have the sword, that far. Knees can do a double bend, and there's also a rotation. There's also ankle articulation and also some toe movement. So yeah, so honestly, it's pretty articulated. I'll probably have seen it in the thumbnail, but I might have gotten into this in some like good flying poses, like with the sword in hand. Speaking of which, so yeah, so she is a good figure. If you want an accurate version of Nightbird from the film, I say go for this. If you want a G1 plus live action version, kind of representative of like the older days of like Reveal the Shield and Hunt Down the Decepticons kind of vibe, I say this one is honestly pretty good. So yeah, so I think both of these bots are good. Let me know in the comments what you think. And do you think we should have gotten maybe more mainline versions of the Rise of the Beast cast? Honestly, I would have liked to see what they would have done with a mainline version of either Battle Trap or Scourge. That would have honestly been interesting. But yeah, so this has been my review for both mainline. Well, this has been my versus review for the mainline Nightbird and Studio Series Nightbird. Hope you guys share this with your friends, all those fun doodads, and this is me signing off. Peace.